All right, what's going on, guys? It's Trader here, and you're watching another film breakdown over at HogBeat.com. Now, before we get into the video, make sure you guys do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want more content just like this. We have film breakdowns, highlights of recruits whenever the season comes back around. We're going to be adding some new recruiting stuff in, which is more my department. And then we have the coverage of the football, basketball, baseball teams, everything you could want from our editor-in-chief, Andrew Hutchinson. Jackson Collier does a great job with basketball. Mason Cho helps out with all the sports. It's great content at HogBeat. And if you become a subscriber, then you're able to have access to our premium message board over on the site. But here, make sure you guys do subscribe if you want to see that video content, full episodes of the HogBeat Hour, press conferences, practice clips, pretty much everything you could want if you're a Razorback sports fan. Without further ado, let's get into the video. With the early signing period opening up last Wednesday, I think it's important that we go through and take a look at all the 2022 commits one last time before we move into that 2023 cycle, and that's what we're going to be doing here. We've got a couple of the guys already up on HogBeat, but we're going to finish that class out over these next couple of weeks, and then we're going to be moving into 2023 commits, targets, guys that maybe are just in state that aren't getting the exposure that Arkansas is kind of looking at, and that's kind of the plan what we're going to go with here. So I thought, what better place to start off with than one of the guys who recruited the hardest for the Razorbacks during this class, and that's James Joyner Jr. He was always active on Twitter. You saw even with the LaTerrence Welch saga that he was right there. He seemed like he thought that a boom was coming, and it never really did. But nonetheless, he was putting in work, posting the gifs of people doing backflips, just the whole 9 yards. One of the most vocal guys in the class, and he's gonna have an opportunity to come in and have an early impact as a freshman, which we saw last year with that running back group. He'll be joining Rashad Dubinion, and we're going to see what that kind of 1-2 punch, where that fits in. But these are his senior season highlights. We got about 3.5 minutes to go through. He's 5'11", 205, rated as a 5.6 3-star on Rivals, the number 6 player in the state. I'm really interested to kind of get to see some of his stuff. I saw clips on Twitter here and there throughout the season, but I haven't gotten the chance to fully look at his highlights and see what we've got coming. So let's get right into that. Takes it, cuts it back, and pretty good blocking from the receiver out there on the side. Gives it up at the end, but Joyner able to get in nonetheless. Puts that man on the ground, and there's another great block from the receiver, and he's just dancing into the end zone. Finds the gap, lets his block set up, and he's to the races there. There was nobody catching him. It seems through these first couple of plays that he does a really nice job of using what his blockers give him and letting those blocks set up and then cutting through after that. It's definitely a steep comparison there. He kind of just powers through, able to break through who knows how many tackles, and he's just off to the races again. But not an exact comparison, but just the same style of running. You see a lot of times, or at least used to see, from a guy like Le'Veon Bell, who, he didn't necessarily get that first jump through the hole that you expect, but as soon as he found a hole, he was going through it, and he was going for a lot of yardage, and that's what we're seeing a lot of here. Yeah, just right through the holes. I'm not sure who all they're playing. This looks like it's at maybe War Memorial Stadium. Cuts that one back outside and brings it back in. A little gallop into the end zone. You love to see that. Makes a miss with the arm tackle. Pushes through there. Really nice stuff so far on this tape. Goes and gets a block there. Joyner beats one man to the outside. Stiff arms another and just keeps pushing his way forward. That's a great run. Runs him over. That's another one. And all these are touchdowns, so that's not even including just solid runs that didn't quite make it all the way. Beats him to the outside again. So you can either go through the gaps or go around the gaps, and having that versatility is really important when you're coming into the SEC, and you kind of need to make your presence felt early. Goes through them there and then back outside. There we go. Solid run, not a touchdown, but a really, really solid run there. Another one of them just keeps the legs moving. Good ball security on that one. Head down and powers through. Almost catches the edge on that one as well. Gets down to the 2. Man, he's had some nice touchdowns so far, but just imagine if these couple of touchdowns broke, he could be having some really, really inflated numbers. And that'll do it for my film breakdown of James Joyner Jr.'s senior season highlights. Once again, 5.6 3-star, the number 6 player in the state, and one of the earliest to commit to Arkansas, committed back in March of 2021. So, just really, really solid stuff in that tape. A lot of touchdowns, a lot of big runs, a couple big runs that didn't quite turn into touchdowns, but really impressed. Like I said, it's not an exact comparison, but a guy that kind of reminded me of while I was watching him was a little bit of Le'Veon Bell, just back when he was on the Steelers. Letting the block set up, finding his way through the blocks, and then if there isn't a block there, he's able to get around it, or kind of we saw one where he just ran right into the middle of a hole and came out and ended up scoring. That was insane. Just really patient runner, which isn't always the case with a lot of these kids. Usually, if you have the talent, you have the speed and the strength to go through and run through people, you want to do that. And you saw that he can do that, but he also knows, hey, if I let these blocks set up, it's going to be a lot easier for me. And it's a lot of times going to end up being a more productive play. So that's a really impressive highlight tape. And I'm excited to see what he's able to do in the spring. He is one of 18 early enrollees for the Razorbacks, SEC lead, school record. We're going to see a lot of these guys that we're going to watch over the next couple of weeks in action in just a couple months in Fayetteville. So I think that's a really, really solid time to, kind of get an intro into them and see what they were able to do in their last seasons in high school. Like I said before, if you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to leave a like, comment down below who you want to see next, and then also subscribe to the channel for more content like this, more recruiting stuff, more team-oriented stuff, practice clips, press conferences, basically everything you want if you're an Arkansas sports fan. Make sure you go check out HogBeat.com. We have great content going up every single day, free stuff, premium stuff, however you want to look at it. There's just great stuff from Andrew Hutchinson, Mason Choate, Jackson Collier, myself, and you won't regret heading over there. And if you become a subscriber, then you certainly won't regret doing that. With that said, I'm Alex Trader, and I'll see you next time.